Okay, so I have a great vacation spot for all of you to try on your next vacation. Picture this. African wildlife. Alright? Topless women. Topless women. Okay? Just kidding. So this is the deal. This African place is called Ghana. So I'm sure some of you have heard of Ghana, some of you haven't. But the deal with it is a lot of people have different misconceptions about Africa and how it really is. A lot of people think, like I said, African wildlife, lions, zebras, giraffes, and they think people just don't wear clothes there, which is kind of true. But Ghana's a lot different than what we think of when we think of our typical Africa. So when I got my mission call, I opened it up and it said Ghana, obviously. And so then I started doing some research on it before I left, and then obviously I was there for 2 years, and as I came back, I've also kind of continued to study it, just because I was interested in kind of the politics and all those things. Ghana's a great place. It's in some ways the best place to be, and in other ways the absolute worst place to be. For some examples of the worst place to be is the poverty is very high, as you'd expect. There's a lot of corruption in the government, so that makes life there and the order kind of difficult. But it's also the best because the people there are amazing. It's so beautiful there with the scenery and all the artwork that they do. But sadly, no lions, no giraffes, no zebras. So as I was researching for this, there was a man that I came across. His name is Daniel Fisher. And he works for Forbes. He's like an analyst and as well a journalist. And so this is what he said about Ghana. He said, Ghana is a typical example of the world's worst handled economy. A country that shouldn't be poor but is. They're sitting on some of the biggest deposits of gold, but they can't pay their bills. And he goes on to explain how it's because that there's so much corruption that people can't make a living for themselves. And basically the GDP, or the amount of money per people in the country, is one of the bottom 30 in the world. So in that way it's kind of a hard place to live. As I was serving my mission, there was a lot of, we'd ride public transportation and there'd be police checkpoints. They're supposed to check for drugs and stuff, but instead of checking for drugs, all they do is just take people's money. So they won't let them pass unless you give them money. And so there's a lot of hard things there. But like I said, there's a lot of wonderful things there as well. This is an artwork that was made by one man that didn't have any money, couldn't have enough money to create a business. So he just bought himself an axe and got a tree stump and just carved this thing with an axe. And then he took it to some other people that would just glue in these little beads one by one. So yeah, they're very good with art, and they kind of have a traditional style. It's kind of like a scary, jump out at you type thing. So that's one thing that they do there a lot. Another thing is they weave. They call this kente, but it's just a material that they make by themselves. They just, with their hands, just basically just put these things together, and then they sell them for really expensive as well. And as well, like I said, the scenery. It's perfect temperature all the way around, all year round, perfect for swimming, so you guys would really enjoy your vacation. So hopefully you've been able to learn a little bit about Africa, the West African culture, and it really is a wonderful place to be. And I encourage you all to, if you can, one day, stop by. There you go.